Here now is Tim Grace. He's the attorney for the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police and former assistant state's attorney in Cook County, and a man who has been on the case from the very beginning, Fox 32's Chicago anchor and reporter Rafer Weigel. Rafer, I want to start with you. You're hearing from sources that believe Miss Fox never actually really recused herself. Now, why do they think that?
Well, because this would not have been handed down without Kim Foxx's blessing. There's no way that the deputy state's attorney would have done this without her involvement. This is her office. And the big question is, why would she do this? She created a deep divide between the Chicago Police Department and the mayor, who's on his way out, and the state's attorney's office. So what did she gain out of this? And that's why your theory is not that far-fetched. Either one of two things happened. Either she didn't think she was going to win the case, and she feared the optics of losing this case would make her look like a Marcia Clark, which, you know, your younger viewers might have to Google that, or she secured some kind of political favor that she's going to collect down the road. It is no secret that Kim Foxx has higher political aspirations than this office, but we'll never know because they're not talking about why they actually did it. They just said this is not abnormal, this is done all the time. I can tell you this is not done all the time. The fact that they did not contact the mayor or the superintendent Eddie Johnson before doing this,
they were
blindsided.
Furious. They were. I've never seen anything like this, guys. I've been doing media stuff for like 23 years. I've never seen anything like what happened today. And Tim, I have to go to you here. You got a manual coming out. You got the police superintendent coming. They were loaded for bear, these guys. They felt like this was an unfair throwing this out in the public on the public consciousness without so much as a heads up. How could this possibly happen if it weren't for some outside force coming in here and tweaking the system or nudging the system?
Yeah, absolutely, Laura. You know, I think it's amazing. Every single day I represent Chicago police officers, men and women, and I am humbled by their dedication and courage. And then to have them go out, do the heavy lifting in this city, to go and run towards the bullets, not away from the bullets, and then to have this happen under some theory of restorative justice, it is absolutely causing a lot of angst amongst many Chicago police officers.
Well, there might actually be conflict, Rafer, within the prosecutor's office itself, because someone signed off on this Jussie Smollett working at Operation Rainbow Push as his community service. He was stuffing envelopes for them, I guess. So he did that for a couple of days, or 12 hours or something like that. 18 hours. Sorry,
16 hours.
Something like that. Okay, whatever. That's community service. And so this is what we're told. Jussie's service included, stuffing membership envelopes. We knew it wasn't for like Planned Parenthood or something. I mean, for a pro-life group. But this is what Joe Magats, assistant state attorney, said today about this. Let's watch.
Is Mr. Smollet innocent of the charges against him?
No, he is not.
And what leads you to say that?
Well, we stand behind the Chicago Police Department investigation. They did an outstanding job, an incredibly professional and phenomenal job in investigating this case. Based on all of that, we stand behind their investigation. We stand behind our decision to charge him.
Rafer, it looks like he was passing a kidney stone there. He did not look happy to be doing that interview. I mean, that was
he seems
brutal.
to be in an uncomfortable position and it's interesting, Laura, because when I was notified by my source at Chicago PD, who was furious. And he said, I want you to go down there and I want you to ask Jussie Smollett if he intends to reimburse the Chicago Police Department for the number of man hours that we put into this investigation.
Oh, please.
And originally, he said that they were told that he did community service. We asked what that community service was. Initially, when they came out in the press conference, they said that his community service went back to when he was 16 years old, being a fine, upstanding citizen. The other stuff about the Rainbow Push Coalition came later on. And so my question is, if you already had set that up beforehand, why not come right out with that right away? It just added more confusion to all of this, and it just doesn't seem like they care how bizarre this thing looks.
Yeah, Tim, back to you. The Fraternal Order of Police wants an investigation into Fox, the state's attorney here, which, I mean, has to happen. What triggers that? How would that take place? Who would have to greenlight that?
Well, first of all, the Department of Justice could get involved. The chief judge of the Circuit Court of Cook County could get involved. The FOP has been struggling with this administration since she took office. We're decriminalizing drugs, certain drugs. We are not charging certain cases. People can walk around and drive a car and not be charged with driving while license suspended. But God forbid you put your hands on a cop. She's very dismissive about aggravated battery charges on police officers. So it's really interesting, and I think an investigation should be looked into by at least the local authorities. I would suppose.
No, I mean, we want to see the documents. What are the chances, Rafer, that you're going to get this grand jury report unsealed? Zero.
And that's the other thing that enraged Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Not only did they drop the charges, they sealed all of the documents. So my Freedom of Information Act requests are not going to be responded to. So we will never know all of the evidence that Chicago police say that they had on Jussie Smollett. They say that that bond proffer was just the tip of the iceberg. They say there was so much more that we will never see. That infuriated the mayor. And if you're going to do that, you at least get a plea deal.
Well, it was reported that he wrote that racist letter to himself. I mean, that was reported by multiple outlets. Where are the Nigerian brothers? I'd find them if I were you, Rafer.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I bet
I'm working on it.
I bet you are. I want to know what their other sideline is now. All right, guys, thank you so much for